त्याच्यात पोलिओ मारले नाही राहायचे.
विजय सर, आपका वीडियो ऑन है?
हो गया सर।
ऑडियो।
मेरा मोबाइल यहाँ है पास।
विजय सर, ऑडियो भी ऑफ कर लीजिए।
ठीक ठीक।
हाँ तो और क्या नेट लिंक आएगा। 4 बजे।
अभी मन्नू सर मीटिंग स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ है।
Hello, Ananya ma'am. Uh, please welcome and start.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. A very good afternoon to the galaxy of intellectuals present today in this in-house online training session 2 organized by Hazaribag Sahodaya School Complex. I extend my heartiest welcome to all in this knowledge-filled online training session on the topic 21st Century Skills. I am profoundly elated to take this opportunity to introduce before you the resource person to throw light on this topic, Honorable Shri Ashok Kumar, Principal, DAV Public School, Hazaribag-cum-President, Hazaribag Sahodaya School Complex. A training session is a great way for someone to learn about a particular topic, and today's topic will surely help us to improve our classroom teaching. Without taking much time, now let me have the privilege to hand over the session to Honorable Principal Sir. Sir, please.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Ananya. Good afternoon, everyone, all the principals
Good afternoon,
and
sir.
teachers of Sahodaya family. A very learning experience since long. We have been conducting this workshop, webinar, and now today also it was conducted how to health. On the topic, and Hasanul Haq presented the topic nicely. Now in this series, that is the second topic, and that is very marvelous, 21st century skill. And this is the 4 skill, that is critical thinking, communication skill, collaboration, and creativity with innovation. It is the masterpiece of 21st century. If you go through the new education policy, these are the parameters will dominate entire school system, ecosystem. The all school stakeholder leaders will learn so many things. I'm always quoting L.F. Toppler, learning to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So this is the very research and how critical thinking, how creativity, how collaboration, how communication, how information technology, how information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy, and how flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skill, this 12 skill will dominate the entire ecosystem of his school. Nobody can deny about that. If you are going to, enlighten the students, so you please tell about that. Now the classroom has been shifted, rote learning to logical reasoning, analytical reasoning, problem solving, decision making approach. So for that reason, this 4 skill is very important. Critical thinking empowers, this is the most important part, empowers the students to discover, inquiry based, discover the truth in assertions, especially I must say when it comes to separating fact from opinion. So you will be thrilled about that. Sometimes you are thinking in a different way, but after going through a critical approach, reasoning, evaluating, like problem solving, then decision making, and last analyzing, analytical way of thinking. This will completely change your scenario. So let us discuss about that, and this will definitely help you, because this topic is a masterpiece. If we know, our teachers, principals know, definitely the outcome of the classroom will enhance. Creativity, through this creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication skill will rule the world. So my focus is that how it will be simplified, what are the core learning, what are the system of 21st century skills, what are the critical thinking, how the core skill of critical thinking, how critical thinking development, enhancing critical thinking, how to enhance critical thinking, why is critical thinking important now, how, what, why, and how. 3 questions. If you ask any person, if you are going to remember knowledge and then application, not application, remember first, then knowledge, you can come to the knowledge, and then you can thrill and you will learn about that application based question, and that is the creation will be there. So always I am telling about that, my dear students, so you learn this skill, though teachers must be updated this learning, and that is the most important part. Any debate is going on, and you critically think, analytically think, you analyze the things, you go through the problem solving approach, you go through a decision, then your decision will be vital and analytical. So with these words, I would like to say how collaboration is needed, how synergy and teamwork is ruling the world, how the world-class leaders are telling, maybe Elon Musk or Jack Ma, maybe Warren Buffett or any class leaders, they are always believing synergize the work, form a team, how the collaboration will help you, peers learner, make a group in a class. So collaboration is very important thing. Today, because the 1 hour time, 1 hour 15 minutes, I will go for activities also. So I will take only one skill, and that is the most important skill to start. And later on in the month of March, I will go for my second skill, collaboration. So I would like to request Mr. Bharat Saha, our IT head, please share my PPT so that I can start regular way. So I'm sure about that COE has promised to join, and anytime he can join, and some other stakeholder, you are humbly requested to join and see. I have already sent through YouTube also, and they will enjoy. So now 21st century critical thinking and collaboration. So what is creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication skill? These are the 4 important factors, and which definitely we are going to discuss. Next, what is the critical thinking? So first, what is the critical thinking? This agenda, core skill, and critical thinking. Then critical thinking development, enhancing critical thinking. Why is critical thinking important? Why benefits of critical thinking? What are the benefits? So we update your knowledge, and if you are going to share something, so definitely you are going to rule. Benefits of critical thinking is important. Activities for developing critical thinking among students. So I will use some of the activities also, and you will enjoy. I'm sure about that you will enjoy. Today, traits and quality of critical thinkers, core standard of reasoning. What is core standard? And then conclusion and collaboration. If time permits, I will take up. And what is the collaboration in education? Otherwise, I will focus on only one skill today to keep in mind about the 1 hour and 50 minutes time. Just I will explain the things so that you participate. It will be very interactive session, and I'm sure about that you are going to participate, and you will participate, you will ask the questions also. Some of the teachers have sent through my WhatsApp also beautiful question. How can we calculate critical thinking among students? How can we develop logical reasoning among the students? How can we develop problem solving skill among the students? And what methods can we apply in our classroom to develop critical thinking? How collaboration leads to critical thinking? I pay my sincere thanks some of the teachers, maybe Arninda, maybe Dheeraj, maybe Manoj, maybe some other teachers of some other schools, every schools they have sent, and I'm very thrilled. After the program, I will take up these questions. Just minimize the questions, and 5 to 6 questions I will respond, because I have noted down to save the timing. Next. So what is the 21st century skill? So that is the first information and discovery. That is the first critical thinking. What is critical? Information and discovery, inquiry, discovery. Then second, interpretation and analysis, reasoning, constructing argument, how to construct argument, how it will be problem solving, then system thinking. This is the critical thinking. Then collaboration, leadership and initiative. Then cooperation, flexibility, one has to be very flexible. Then reasoning, responsibility and productivity. Then collaborative, using digital media, responsiveness and constructive feedback. So without feedback, how can you develop a critical thinking or collaboration in a true spirit? So definitely you must take the feedback from students, and then you will get it, and you will be connected fully, and you will be better persons to know about that, what is the learning outcome, what will be and what will be. And that's why I'm telling always, teachers must be collaborator, a good collaborator. Then communication skill. So what is the communication? Is effective listening. Effective matlab understanding, listening properly. Emphatic listening means understanding. Delivering oral presentation, communicate using digital media, encouraging in conversation, engaging in conversation and discussion, and then communicative in diverse environment, diversity in class. Class is not inclusive class, diversity in class. You have to identify which background the students are coming, first generation, latest, something like that. Everything is there. The parent background or something. Some students are 40, some students are 80. So our teachers must identify diversity. Teachers identify the inclusiveness of the classroom. Now a new education policy has given so many parameter remedial measures so that we can understand. Then come to creativity, a beautiful thing. You might be going through the movie, because movie, the children will remember about that. This movie, Three Idiots, is the best of the real creativity. Chatur was, rote learner and used to get the first position, and teachers like him. But Amir Khan, a character who used to create some new thing beyond the classroom, out of box. Unless or until you go out of box, you cannot create new things. So he was doing like that. And in last, you might have noticed, this was the real cases study based movie. And last, Amir Khan became the entrepreneur and Chatur became the employee of Amir Khan. This is the story. Some movie you remember, your students will remember. Cite a story, cite movie, so they will remember. Don't give only the textual material or something. Go through the behind the box, go through outer box. Then they will be very happy to learn so many new things. Then next, we can't solve our problem with the same thinking we used when we created them. Albert Einstein. You think about that the second time. We can't solve our problem with the same thinking we used when we created Albert Einstein. Such a great person, he has. So you please go to next. Let us think. Have a fun. Enjoy with some questions. And you will enjoy. So what is the question? This is the world quiz and developed by Anderson Consulting Worldwide. Answer each question in order. How do you put in a giraffe? Put a giraffe into a refrigerator. The question is that anybody can enjoy, can respond, unmute. How do you put a giraffe into a refrigerator? Second question. How do you put an elephant into a refrigerator? Right? Third question. The Lion King is hosting an animal conference. All the animals attend except one. Which animal does not attend? The fourth question. There is a river you must cross, but it is used by crocodiles and you do not have a boat. How do you manage it? How do you manage it? So, first question, how do you put a giraffe? How do you put a giraffe into your refrigerator? Anybody? Unmute and tell. Very funny question.
Pictures of giraffe and elephant. By putting the pictures of giraffe and
Giraffe.
elephant.
Beautiful.
Yes, sir, pictures, sir, pictures.
Picture.
Toy picture. Yeah,
Picture.
toy bhi.
Okay, very good. I appreciate. So, the
model of
test whether you tend to do simple things in an orderly, complicated way. This is the takeaway of this question. Open the refrigerator, put into the giraffe and close the door. No need to have in paper or something like that, because the question is not like that, the live giraffe. Question is not like that. So this is the question of critical thinking also. You can use the paper giraffe. You can use anything about that, but the question is not like the live giraffe. How can live giraffe into the refrigerator? The second question, how do you put an elephant into a refrigerator?
I will open the refrigerator, take out
Yeah.
the giraffe, and then I will put the elephant inside.
Okay.
Sir,
Once-
same as above.
Repeat.
Sir, same as above.
Repeat.
Yes, I will open the door of the refrigerator and put the picture of the elephant into the refrigerator.
Put into the elephant and to the refrigerator.
Pictures into the refrigerators.
So
Figure.
Do you think it is correct?
No, sir. First, we will take out the picture of giraffe. Then we will
Yes.
put.
Who said this one?
Yes, Shweta. My Shweta Rani from Holy Ghost
Correct.
School.
100%. 100% Shweta. Clap.
Yes, sir.
Everyone. Shweta. Yes.
Thank
Open
you.
the refrigerator. Take out the giraffe. Put the elephant and close the door. Simple
Yes, sir.
thinking. What is the test? This tests your ability to think through the repercussion of your previous action. Repercussion of previous action. This is the takeaway. Third, yes, the Lion King. The Lion King is hosting. The Lion King is hosting an animal conference. All the animals attend dash except one. Which animal does not attend? Please.
Elephant.
Elephant, sir.
Elephant. Why? Why elephant?
Elephant is in the refrigerator.
The elephant is in the refrigerator.
In the refrigerator.
Elephant is in
The refrigerator.
Elephant.
Yes.
is in the refrigerator.
Yes. Correct answer, elephant. The elephant is in refrigerator. You just put him in there. The test your memory, whether you remember or forgotten. That is the question of this IQ. Okay, even if you did not answer the first three questions correctly, you still have one more chance to show your true abilities. What? There is a river you must cross, but it is used by crocodiles and do not have a boat. How do you manage it?
Crocodile has fallen in the. Sir,
One by one.
conference is going on, and all our animals are busy in conference. So no crocodile is there.
Oh, beautiful. Who said?
Shweta Shri, Holy Cross School, sir.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sweta
beautiful
Shilpi
answer.
ji, you are a very talented teacher. I'm proud of you. Holy Cross, very good.
Thank you, sir.
You jump into the river and swim across. Have you not been listening? All the crocodiles are attending the animal conference. This test whether you learn quickly from your mistakes. So this is the takeaway of this line. So always this kind of fun, this kind of, questions or something like that, it will definitely, learning will be there. And learning will be, just you are not going to forget, and students will feel to learn about that. Now next. Now come to critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to think clearly, rationally. It includes the ability to engage in reflective and independent thinking. Someone with critical thinking skill is able to do the following: understand the logical connection between idea identify, construct, and evaluate arguments, detect inconsistency and mistakes in reasoning, and solve problem systematically, identify the relevance and importance of idea, reflect on the justification of one's belief and value. Why? Because critical thinking is the capability of objective analysis. Remember this, objective analysis of information and include the following qualities. What are the qualities? So fairness and open-mindedness. First one has to be very clear about that, fairness and openness, open-mindedness. Then activeness and being informed, willingness to question or entertain doubts, being independent, recognizing and assessing values, peer pressure. If you are not going to encounter with these problems, are not going to observe with this problem about the peers, about the, I'm always quoting about that, seek first to understand, then to be understood. What does this take away? Any person? Seek first to understand, then to be understood. What does you take it? Any person? You are very intelligent. You participate. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. What does it mean? Any person? I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Anybody seek first to, this is the book, 7 Habits of Stephen R. Covey, the book, famous book, 7 Habits of Effective People. And that is the 5th habit, that is the seek first to understand, then to be understood. What is the takeaway of this line?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yes. So what is the takeaway of this line? Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Simple. First, you know what the thinking. Suppose you are going to teach the students. First, you understand the child, what they are thinking, what are their level, what are their expectation, what to teach. Everybody knows. But how to teach, that is the pedagogy. The students, unless or until you are a good pedagogical leader inside the classroom, so definitely you have to understand, seek first to understand, then to be understood. पहले उनके नजरिया को समझिए, पहले बच्चे क्या चाहते हैं, what they want. ये मन में उनके अंदर द्वंद्व को अगर हम नहीं समझ पाएंगे तो क्लासरूम टीचिंग, we are not going to be a good classroom teacher. So you cannot manage the classes. Simply your curriculum transaction हो रहा है. There is no thought about that कि seek first to understand, then to be understood. मैं उसके नजरिया को समझना, तो peers को समझना, diversity को identify करना, inclusive inside the classroom को identify करना, that is the characteristics of critical thinking, analytical way के. And the media influences for a critic understanding of critical thinking. I'm referring to the CBSE book, comic book, Cogito. If you go through the Cogito, you will find so many narratives, so many beautiful things. And always I'm thinking that every individual possesses the skill to entertain or certain degree. What? Being creative, reflective, analytical, adaptable is a critical thinking. Is it clear? Being creative, reflective, be flexible, reflective, analytical, and adaptable is critical thinking. Everybody, every day, sea of choice of decision, every day, sea of choice of decision floats in front of us. Every day we counter so many problems. Every day, some are small and some are important, unimportant, and others are important. Yes, and have a larger impact on our lives. For example, to be bombarded with the choice to vote for a good politician, right? So it is a critical thinking that allows us to carefully deconstruct a situation and remove the hidden bias and misinformations to make the best decision. Because unless or until you are going to take decision and you are not going to reason out, what is the reason behind this? Today is the talk of the hijab. And everybody, without going through the Quran, without going through the code of conduct or constitution, they are telling, even the literate or illiterate, they are in the picture. So what is the hijab? They are comparing with the Sikh community, they have got, no, you go through the first reason out. Then reason, after reason, you go through the evolution method. You go through the, evaluate the thing. Then problem, you solve the problem approach, problem solving approach. Then you go through the decision. Then you take decision. And then analyze the things. Then analyze the thing. And that is the last analytical way of thinking. The first reason out, reasoning, then evaluating, then, the third is problem solving, fourth, decision making, fifth, and that is the, after decision making, analyzing the things. So these are the parameters one has to take like that. Next. So that is the most important core skill of critical thinking. This is the most important, I must say, curiosity. The one book has been written by Napoleon Hill, and that is the great book, Think and Grow Rich. Any one of you have read this book? Please share. Any one of you, have you read this book, Napoleon Hill? That is the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That is the second book, Dale Carnegie. And one book, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill, a great person. So what is the takeaway first line of this book? Yes, 3 or 4 chat box, I have seen the name. So what is the first, even the para or some of the pages contains the story and they focus on the story. Can you tell? There is no minus marking if you are wrong. ये आज का वर्कशॉप में कोई माइनस मार्किंग नहीं है. आप भाग लीजिए, 2 चैट बॉक्स में दिए हैं. सो व्हाट इज द टेकअवे ऑफ द फ्यू लाइंस? व्यास पांडे जी, यू प्लीज टेल, क्या है उसका टेकअवे? नेपोलियन हिल, थिंक एंड ग्रो रिच.
Personal development and self-improvement book.
Okay, this is the general. What is the first summary of the few pages? Takeaway. Desire. I am talking about curiosity. Unless or until you have desire to learn something, unless or until you are curious to know something, unless or until you are passionate to learn something, so definitely you are not going to fulfill your dream. So desire and dream, these are the 2 parameters which help you to, just improve yourself. So curiosity is the most important part. We are always telling that one is very curious. These students were very curious. They have developed the curiosity to learn analytical question, hot questions, NTSC, they qualified. NTSC, what is the difference between the general syllabus or NTSC? That is the 2 paper, 1 paper SAT, a scholastic aptitude test, and the second is MAT, mental ability test, reasoning, analytical reasoning, logical reasoning. And those who are doing the wonderful job, cracking the examinations, definitely they are the master of the reasoning. So students are very intelligent. If the teachers are not updating their knowledge, sharpening their sharpen, so definitely they are not updated their knowledge. So definitely the students of 21st century, they are not going to accept you, because this is the now a new education policy has make it कि logical way में एनालिटिकल वे में टीचर्स बात करेंगे. वो रटन विद्या गया, विदाई हो गया, इट हैज गॉन. नाउ यू थिंक कि कोडिंग 6th क्लास, artificial intelligence, IoT, robotics, Python, everybody, digital media, everything is being discussed. What is the parameter? What is the analytical? So definitely curiosity is the most important. A teacher must develop. So critical thinking ka bhi to curiosity hai. So it is the desire to learn more information and seek evidence as well as being open to new ideas. Skepticism, ये क्या है? It involves having a healthy questioning attitude about new information that you are exposed to. Questions. There are beautiful questions. Why, what, and how? These are the parameters. Frame the questions based on understanding level. Frame the question based on knowledge-based question. Frame the question based on application, horse questions. So, skepticism tells the story, a story about healthy questioning. You create some of the classes, some of the teachers are very outstanding because they are, just like their classes are, interactive. And that's why they are enjoying. Because of 50% interaction is there. And that's why the class is beautiful. Right? So it involves having a healthy questioning attitude about new information that you are exposed to. Whatever you are going to do, you please involve yourself and promote, motivate, reinforce, ask question. One day you must fix about that. And then a story will change. Don't be passive listener. Don't remember these things. Teacher is very creative, proactive. Definitely they will create the environment where the students will be able or have got the freedom to ask the question. That is the second. And third, humility. What is this? This is the beautiful things I must say about that. I'm a principal, but suppose I'm doing something like that and I've said to you, just this was my point was not okay. I have nothing wrong to accept my mistakes. The post is not there. The teachers, every stakeholder, those who are the topper or director or CBSE officer or CBSE, humility, you must know about that. It is the ability to admit that your opinions and ideas are wrong when faced with new convincing evidence. अगर एक बच्चा आपको चेंज करता है, कुछ अच्छा बताता है, जैसे आमिर खान 3 इडियट में टीचर को पसंद नहीं था क्योंकि वो स्टीरियोटाइप क्वेश्चन रट के आते थे, उसी को सेट करते थे. बुरा मत मानिएगा, ऐसे टीचर कभी 21st सेंचुरी में नहीं सरवाइव करेंगे. मेरा प्रश्न है अपने आप से. Today also I took the classes 112D. I did not dare. I was prepared fully. And then I entered the class to teach students also. Update करके. So, आपके ओपिनियन से अगर डिफरेंट और कोई ओरिजिनल क्रिएटिविटी के साथ आ गया, एक्सेप्ट इट, लेट देम इन्वॉल्व. आपका पर्पस वही है. ह्यूमिलिटी इसी को कहते हैं कि बड़ा छोटा कुछ नहीं है, ह्यूमिलिटी है. उन बच्चों को बढ़ाइए. जस्ट यू हैव टू रिइंफोर्स द स्टूडेंट्स. इसको 21st सेंचुरी में आप अपने ईगो के बल पर नहीं, ह्यूमिलिटी के बल पर आप राज करेंगे. नेक्स्ट. So this is the classical story, and that is I'm always बेंजामिन ब्लूम को कैसे भूल सकते हैं हम लोग. बेंजामिन ब्लूम आज भी, and they are dominating the parameters of the world. So why 2001 में बेंजामिन ब्लूम ने एक थ्योरी दिया, and that is the remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate and create. ये 2001 में अपडेटेड वर्जन है. 56 में आपका था नॉलेज, कंप्रिहेंशन, एप्लीकेशन, एनालिसिस, सिंथेसिस एंड इवैल्यूएशन था. 1956 में दैट इज द फर्स्ट टाइम बेंजामिन ब्लूम गेव द थ्योरी ऑफ ब्लूम्स, बेंजामिन ब्लूम्स टैक्सोनॉमी कहते हैं. Our teachers must know about that. Why? बिकॉज क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग कहाँ से आया? क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग कॉग्निटिव डोमेन का चीज। कॉग्निटिव क्या है? हेड है, हेड। व्हाट इज हेड? ये दिमाग है, गत्यात्मक। दिमाग क्या है? ये ज्ञानात्मक है, दिमाग है, हेड है। लॉजिकल, यहां लॉजिक यहां शुरू होती है। हार्ट क्या है? वो अफेक्टिव डोमेन है। हार्ट है, अफेक्टिव हो गया, हार्ट है। ये हेड है, हेड, हार्ट। और तीसरा साइकोमोटर डोमेन, कोग्निटिव डोमेन भी कहा जाता था। ओ व्हाट इज दिस? कोग्निटिव डोमेन इज द हैंड एक्टिविटीज, डूइंग समथिंग प्रैक्टिकल। सो फादर, एक कहा जाता है, इट इज सेड कि फादर इज ऑलवेज द हेड जो है दिमाग का काम करते हैं, लेकिन माए घर में वो थोड़ा हार्ट से इमोशन और फीलिंग होता है, इसमें इमोशन फीलिंग। नाउ इट इज बीइंग नोटेड एंड ऑब्जर्व कि आईक्यू से किसी मामले में ईक्यू कम नहीं है। फीलिंग, इमोशन, वो भी कमाल का काम कर रहा है। एंड दैट इज द पैरामीटर्स। सो आई मस्ट से रिकॉग्नाइजिंग एंड रिकॉलिंग फैक्ट्स, अंडरस्टैंडिंग। और उसके पहले रिकॉग्नाइजिंग एंड रिकॉलिंग फैक्ट्स, रिमेंबर, राइट? अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट द फैक्ट्स मीन, रिकॉल करना, याद कर लेना, जस्ट यू रिमेंबर एनीथिंग। ओके, दैट्स वेरी सिंपल। हम कहते हैं कि नॉलेज बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है। देन अंडरस्टैंडिंग, सो अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट द फैक्ट्स मीन, देन अप्लाइंग द फैक्ट्स, rules, concept and ideas, applying. Then breaking down the information into components was analysis को कहते हैं तोड़ना, छोटा छोटा करना. Then judging the value of information or idea, that is the evaluation, that is the Bloom's taxonomy को थोड़ा सा न्यू करके एक चेंज हो गया. पहले सिंथेसिस था, that was the synthesis, now it has become the create, combining parts to make a new whole. So ये कॉग्निटिव डोमेन के ये पैरामीटर है. कॉग्निटिव मतलब दिमाग से, लॉजिकल वे में, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, एनालिटिकल होके बात होगा. ये सही क्यों नहीं है, इज आप सही है कि गलत है, ये दिमाग से हम सोचेंगे, कॉग्निटिव डोमेन में जाएंगे, देन रीजनिंग करेंगे, देन आप इवोल्यूएट करेंगे, देन प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने का अप्रोच बैठेंगे कि क्या होना चाहिए क्या नहीं होना चाहिए, देन डिसीजन लेंगे और लास्ट में एनालिसिस पर जाएंगे, एनालिटिकल अप्रोच. दैट इज द critical thinking. Next, so enhancing critical thinking, ये कैसे होगा, enhance कैसे होगा? So sometimes an explanation becomes so complex that the original question get lost. कभी sometimes in debate is so vast, so sometimes the original idea what you are debated, it has finished, no meaning. To avoid this, continually go back to the basic question you asked when you set out to solve the problem. Then आपको next question, basic assumption. When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Next, be aware of your mental processes. Be aware, all of us have biases in our thinking. Sometimes it happens. You approach, you accept it. Becoming aware of them, what is makes critical thinking possible. यहाँ तो और जरूरी है, it is very necessary to think critically. If I'm using the word critically, so definitely you are thinking about that कि rational behavior, logical way, analytical way, interdisciplinary way. What I'm thinking, what others are thinking, that you have to summarize. Try reversing things. Even it is turns out that reverse is not true, considering it can set you in the path of finding a solution. Solution तभी निकलेगा जब you have to generalize the things. Next, enhance, evaluate the existing evidence. What is it? When you are trying to solve a problem, and it's always helpful to look at other work. What other work? That has been done in the same area. Remember to think for yourself. Don't be overconfident, but recognize that thinking for yourself is essential to answer tough questions. What is the core thinking, and that is the critical thinking, the ability to use information, ideas, arguments for relevant perspective to make a sense of complex issue and solve problems. What is the critical thinking core learning outcome? What is the analytical behavior? What is it? Individual with analytical skills and evaluate information, effectively apply it. Creative thinking allows individual to spot pattern other might not have, but it is not have, but you have to develop this skill or something. Open-mindedness, I've always, in a starting time also, I've already explained open-mindedness. Open-mindedness means open-mindedness, yes. Open-mindedness individual put aside assumption to judgment and remain as critical and unbiased possible. So these are the parameters: analytical behavior, critical thinking, creative thinking, problem solving, and open-mindedness. These are the parameters. Now come to question as critical thinker asks. क्या question करते हैं? What's happening? Gather that the basic information, begin to think the questions. पहले first आता है. Then why is it important? Then question पहले what's happening? Then why? What is important? Ask yourself why it is significant. Why it is significant and whether or not you agree, sometimes disagree. Then what don't I see? Is there anything important missing? कहीं मैं ऐसा तो नहीं आगे बढ़ गया, कुछ important था? Answer, how do I know? Then come to how do I know? Ask yourself where the information come from and how it was constructed. Knowledge तो construct होता है. Learning में just new thing will be constructed going through the process of learning, evolving learning. And then who is saying it? कौन रहा है? What's the position of the speaker and what is influencing them? First you have to narrate about that. जैसे हमने कोरोना काल में we used to listen so many doctors, a very simple doctors. ये कीजिए, वो कीजिए, वो कीजिए. But as per the protocol of COVID-19, used to listen health WHO, and that is the parameters fixed by WHO, and that was a standard parameter, Medical Association of India, and that is our ICR. So they used to, but some of the Jhola type doctors and used to give the suggestion ki you take it, this is, and that is. This time the critical thinking, the third phase of corona, they need not to have any medicine, my dear students. Still some of the doctor prescribe unethical practice. ये 8 खाइए, वो कहा कुछ नहीं खाना है. Nothing. You self-isolate for 5 days, 7 days. Wonderful. हो गया अच्छा. अगर if you फीवर अगर 100 से ऊपर आ गया तो एक पैरासीटामोल खा लो, बस घर में बैठ के खाओ, हॉस्पिटल में मत आओ. पहले में क्या है, हॉस्पिटल में सारे चले गए, ऑक्सीजन खत्म सब. सो इस बार एक बहुत जनरल ओपिनियन डिस्कशन, थॉरो डिस्कशन, अभी आएंगे हम थॉरो डिस्कशन. सो व्हाट आई मीन टू से, नेक्स्ट क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग के पैरामीटर्स है. पहला है नॉलेज बेस्ड. नॉलेज में क्या है? नॉलेज आइडेंटिफिकेशन, रिकॉल, इंफॉर्मेशन, डिफाइन, fill up the blanks, list, identity, who, what, where, this. Then comprehension, this means understanding. Comprehension means under second part. What is this? Comprehension, organization and selection of facts and idea, convert, interpret, describe, paraphrase, explain, put in order, something like that. Then third, come application, hot questions. This is the real critical thinking. It starts from application. The moment application based question come, and this is the reality. Compute, apply, demonstrate, conclude, draw, construct, find out the new things. Then next, fourth, analysis. I've already said this is 1956 based, Bloom's Benjamin, the taxonomy. So analysis, separating a whole into a component parts, analyze the things, contrast, categorize, classify, compare. Then fifth, synthesis. एक को तोड़ो, छोटा छोटा करो, एक को जोड़ो. Synthesis, combining idea to form a new whole. That is the change. Find a unusual way, combine, formulate, compose, like that. Combining ideas. And last, evaluation. But now updated form में, and that it has constructed. That is the, remember, understand, then apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. About create. That is the last option. Next. Benefit क्या है? Critical thinking improves students' flexibility and learning skill. That is the most important. We don't know how technology will change by the time young the people leave education. Learning critical thinking and problem solving will prepare them to learn and adopt faster and keep up to date the relevant changes in their field of study, whatever they may be. Hazaribag just conducted one book review session. Who moved my cheese? That was the story based on the change, how to copy the changes, how to anticipate the changes, how to, prepare the changes. What is the takeaway of this book? The world is constant change of everything, is always changing. To keep our identity alive, you have to accept the changes. We must not keep ourselves locked into a single plan or traditional pathway to achieve success. We'll have to change at least something about the ideas. What are the significance does this book in your life? Life is not a straight and easy corridor. Along with we travel free and unhampered. There is so many complicated turns through which we must seek our way. But always, if you have faith, a door of opportunity. So, who moved my cheese? One director of BHU. He was the chief guest and the judge also, and Saroj Ranjan of university and Kiran Yadav principals. So I used to send some of the book review, and that was the masterpiece books, and you might have noticed. Critical thinking makes education less passive and more interactive. Nowadays, 21st century is an interactive classroom. Always remember, not a passive listener. You are dominating the class. Now time has gone. Rote learning time has gone. Now it has a very, very interactive classroom. Right? So, critical teaching students how to approach critically, and subject makes it more relevant for them. Now the students are cracking IIT without coaching. If the classroom teaching is okay, NTSC is 6 students, my students qualified. Wonderful. Wonderful. So how the concept become clear? It helps them better understand and get more involved with the subject and its importance of their life, making them feel and be active. Critical thinking and problem solving will rule the world. Listen, rule the world. If you start critical thinking and problem solving skill in academic performance, rather than relying on teachers in classroom time, you always remember only relying. So, instruction and guidance students with critical thinking skill become more independent and self-directed learners. Don't group the students in such a way. Next, you please see, observe it. Don't.
मत खाना वरना पछताओगे। नंबर 1 कैश्यू यानी काजू। दोस्तों काजू खाना तो आपको बेहद पसंद होगा, लेकिन अगर आप इसको कच्चा खा लें तो बहुत बड़ी समस्या बन सकता है। कच्चे
Don't believe everything you read on the internet just because there is a picture with a quote next to it. Abraham Lincoln. So इसको आप देख के क्या टेकवे है? What is your takeaway? Anyone? Please enjoy. No minus marking. ये हम लोग जान रहे हैं, आपसे बहुत कुछ सीख रहे हैं. Just I'm learning. You please go through it. Don't believe everything you read on the internet just because there is a picture with a quote next to it. Yes?
Yes. Sir, there was no internet during Abraham Lincoln's era.
Oh, yes, clap. Who said it?
Sir Manoj Khandelwal.
Manoj Khandelwal. Very good. Very good. But there was no internet. So that is the critical thinking. Sometimes it happens. Teachers are not updated. Students are laughing outside. Yeah, teacher is not aware of this computer, logistic, this Python, this IoT. They are not learning. You think about that. That situation is going to happen if you are, unless or until we update our knowledge. So critically we think about that. So this is not that. At the time of Abraham Lincoln, he was a great president of America. After so many failure, you might be knowing the story of this great person. Failed in Senate, failed in every election, finally become the president of America. That is the great person. So, but think rationally, think analytically, and then Manoj Khandelwal said about that time internet was not there. So one has to identify these things. Next, beautiful things. Critical thinking, adla badli, debate. Have you heard the turn code debate? Adla badli, turn code debate. For, against, a person, traditional, a person will tell the for, other person will tell against. But one Pranav Mukherjee used to conduct the national level quizzer and debater. He used to conduct in Mayo College in so many years. So turn code debate. The same person students will know, and he will tell the for, and he will tell the against. The same. After 1 minute, he will against. So ये जानना पड़ेगा. एक पक्ष क्या है, एक विपक्ष क्या है. इस मैटर में ये क्या है, ये क्यों है. दोनों पक्ष, एक पक्ष नहीं. Ask yourself made questions, frame questions, hot questions, understanding based question or something. Then goalball, asking riddles. अभी आएंगे हम लोग riddles पर. Gap fill in. कभी कभी कहते हैं ना, चलो fill up करो. पूछो तो समझे. Cross questioning, twisted questioning. Real is rationalism. IS ka this year the IS examination conducted the essay in civil service main, and our 3 students appeared for written examination this year. So Deepak was telling one of the the brilliant students telling, sir, kaise sambhav hai? Real is rationalism. 1000 but something you are going to encounter ticklish question, something. So unless or until you are very strong in analytical way of reasoning, problem solving approach, and you are not thinking in a very rational or clear minded, you are not going to solve the problem. 21st century learning is not rote learning. Analytical thinker, critical thinker, decision maker, they are going to take the decision next. So I'm always telling, and number of times I'm telling, reasoning, evaluating, problem solving, decision making, analyzing. In anything, ये सही है या गलत है. ये गलत है तो सही है, फिर evaluate करें, पहले reason करें, evaluate करें, then problem solve करेंगे, then decision लेंगे, and last analyze करेंगे. Go for analytical way. This is the critical thinking skill. Next, school life virtual reality, COVID times, and exam life, A, B, real life. In real life, there is no direct answer which tells us how to get from A to B, which all too often in a zigzag way. In real life, you have to go for behind the classroom, out of box. जिसको कहते हैं ना आमिर खान कुछ क्रिएटिव करते रहा. टीचर लाइक नहीं करते हैं. आउट ऑफ बॉक्स जाना पड़ेगा, कुछ बाहर जाना पड़ेगा. Then you think about that, what is the conclusion? Real life is something different. It is important that we expose our students to certain degree of uncertainty inside our class till they get exposed or experience it outside. I'm going to cite one example. That is the next activities. Yes, I have suggested you. How many of you have brought Dettol? And that is the Dettol.
यहीं छोड़ देते हैं, मम्मी के पास जाते हैं.
Yes, Dettol. Dettol. So, have you seen it? How many of you have brought the Dettol? How many of you have brought the Dettol, CC of Dettol? So, please go through the activities I am giving. So, Same thing, sometimes it happened. Detol activities happen. There was a misconception in Detol, you might have seen. There was a misconception among the people during the beginning of Corona pandemic that Detol could be the best sanitizer. And sometimes what happened, I still remember, the whole market, not only Hazaribag in Ranchi and some other places also, it was, definitely, it was a scarcity of Detol. Everybody start purchasing. अरे Detol ले लो, एकदम हाथ धोएंगे, ये करेंगे, कोरोना को भगा देंगे. ओके, आप में से Detol आप लिए, एक बार पढ़िए इसको, प्लीज पढ़िए. टू डू एक्टिविटीज. एक Detol में क्या लिखा है पीछे, इसको पढ़िए. अगर लाए हैं तो, अगर नहीं लाए हैं तो कोई बात नहीं. हमने रिक्वेस्ट किया था 2 बार. आई मेड द हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट कि प्लीज कम एंड ब्रिंग Detol and activities paper रखे. Okay, कोई बात.
It is an antiseptic liquid, sir. It is not a hand sanitizer.
It is the
Antiseptic.
Yes. This is the Detol could be the best sanitizer, but after research it was found. Why? A sanitizer with at least 70% alcohol can be the best of protecting oneself from coronavirus. Detol is just germs, that is antiseptic. ये बैक्टीरिया को मारता है Detol. It is not against the virus. ये तो कोरोना तो वायरस है. So लोग पागल ऐसा लेने लगे. It was found the sanitizer उसमें 70% अल्कोहल होना चाहिए. As Detol contains only 9 to 12% alcohol, it was not at all effective for safety for coronavirus. ये क्या है? ये critical thinking नहीं है तो क्या? So without going through, reason out कि Detol खरीदे कि नहीं खरीदे, decision. So you think about that कि why Detol? So you read it. Nobody is going to read it. ये सब लिखा, ingredients में लिखा, it is antiseptic, but still they are using Detol and using just like a corona antiviral, right? Antivirus. So without thinking, if you are doing anything, without going through the logical way, analytical way, decision making approach will be not proper. So first reasoning, then evaluate कीजिए Detol के CC पर, then problem आपके फेस कीजिए कि हाँ ये कैसे प्रॉब्लम को हम सॉल्व करेंगे, इसको हमको मारना है. देन डिसीजन मेकिंग आपका आएगा, तब डिसीजन लीजिए, और लास्ट में आपको एनालिटिकल हो जाना है, एनालिसिस कीजिए. दैट इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग. सो इट वाज नॉट हैपन. एवरीबॉडी स्टार्टेड परचेजिंग. स्कार्सिटी तो ऐसा हो गया कि Detol सारे अरे भाई एंटीबैक्टीरियल ठीक है, हाथ धोना है ठीक है, लेकिन कोरोना के वायरस को ये नहीं मारने वाला है, राइट? नेक्स्ट. So traits of effective critical thinkers: open to new ideas, flexible, willing to change, innovative, analytical, creative, assertive, persistent, energetic, risk taker, knowledgeable, communicator, resourceful, intuitive. How you think about that? Being a teacher, you must think about that. कि ये ट्रेड्स जो है इफेक्टिव क्रिटिकल थिंकर के, क्या इसमें से कितने हमारे पास मिलते हैं? यू थिंक अबाउट योरसेल्फ, यू गो फॉर द शॉर्ट एनालिसिस. व्हाट आर द, जैसे कहते हैं ना कि स्ट्रेंथ एंड वीकनेस, आइडेंटिफाई योर वीकनेस, आइडेंटिफाई योर स्ट्रेंथ, देन यू विल बी इन बेटर पोजीशंस, बेटर टीचर्स टू टेल द स्टूडेंट्स आल्सो. शॉर्ट एनालिसिस करो, स्ट्रेंथ, वीकनेस, अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड थ्रेट. So these are the things. तो फ्लेक्सिबल हम हैं कि नहीं, विलिंग टू चेंज है कि नहीं, या एडमेंट ही है कि ईगो है कि 20 साल हो गए अब क्या सीखेंगे, इनोवेटिव है कि नहीं, एनालिटिकल है कि नहीं, क्रिटिकल, असर्टिव, परसिस्टेंट, एनर्जेटिक. सो दीज आर all the characteristics of traits of critical thinker. Next, conclusion क्या है? The purpose of critical thinking is rethinking, that is reviewing, evaluating and revising thought. Critical thinking is a self-directed, self-disciplined, self-motivated and self-correction thinking. ये किसी को सोच के नहीं, हर आदमी को, हर टीचर को, हर स्टूडेंट्स को अपने क्रिटिकली थिंक करना पड़ेगा. क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग Skills teach the variety of skill that can be applied to any situation in life that calls for reflection, analysis, or planning. Hamisha. Next, if there was one life skill every one on the planet needed, it was the ability to think with critical objectivity. ये हेनरी डेविड थोरो का है. नेक्स्ट कोलैबोरेशन था, तो कोलैबोरेशन तो नेक्स्ट टाइम में हम लेंगे. नेक्स्ट, ये एक अच्छा स्लाइड है. बैक ये एक अच्छा स्लाइड है कोलैबोरेशन का, वन ऑफ द बेस्ट. पहले कोलैबोरेशन बिगिंस विद द म्यूचुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड रिस्पेक्ट. अस्टोन रामगर. ये देखिए गो, ये बिजनेस है, ये लीडर है, बॉस, और इधर खींच रहे. और दूसरे में देखिए बिजनेस, लेट्स गो, हम साथ में चलेंगे. एक है कि आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, टीचर कुछ है, प्रिंसिपल कुछ है, ये सीढ़ी ऐसे ही है. तो बॉस का ये जमाना गया, अब ये जमाना है. दिस इज कोलैबोरेशन में विल गो फॉर द सिनर्जी, टीम वर्क एंड दे. नेक्स्ट, एक्टिविटीज थोड़ा सा करते हैं लास्ट में, टाइम पर हैं. एंड दैट इज द, आई एम वेरी हैप्पी अबाउट दैट कि आई पार्टिसिपेटेड. अब आते हैं एक्टिविटीज पर, सो थोड़ा सा एंजॉय कीजिएगा. चलिए, फर्स्ट you see about that, which glass has more water in it? You please take it. Who will tell?
Glass B.
Sir.
Glass B has more water.
B.
Glass B is not water, and some
B, sir. B.
B. Most of
B.
Dheeraj, Prajita, and then Mohammad Vishwal, and there are so many persons. So beautiful. Can you tell the reason why?
So actually, bean is lighter in the water and it is deep on the water. Very, it cannot. मतलब उसका जो water level है.
Displacement is less in the B. Glass B.
Okay.
This bottom cover is less.
Bean is the smallest object as compared to others.
Yes. Bean is
There is smallest light object.
yes.
Light object.
Paper clip is, listen, compared to the paper, all other objects take more space. Simple. If you take things out of these four glasses, you will find that glass bean has more. इसमें bean सबसे छोटा है, right? This is the logic. Answer?
इसमें कैंची डाला तो कैंची से ऊपर गया है पानी. तीनों में कुछ सामान डाला हुआ है, लेकिन इसमें छोटा सा ऐसी है. कौन सी है ये? पेपर पेन. हाँ, तो इससे कोई पानी ऊपर नहीं भागा है.
I have got the answer. Some of the teachers, brilliant teachers.
लेकिन बाकी में सामान था, इसमें सामान के चलते पानी कुछ सामान डालेंगे तो पानी का ये भागता है ऊपर.
Next, riddles 2. Go through it. What is the missing number of the last 6 lines? Who will tell?
Question mark.
6 is the correct answer. So 6 is the yes. Correct answer. इसका लॉजिक क्या है? They all are
The mirror reflections.
Yes. So the right answer is letter 6, and it is backward. Next, riddle 3rd. Listen and see clearly. Can you tell which way the bus is moving?
So it is neutral.
It is neutral. Okay. Next. Neutral. Next. Since you can't see the doors in that picture, the bus must be moving to the left. Bus doors are always to the right side. Remember it. Since we can't see the door, so it is quite obvious. That bus must be moving to the left. Right?
It's a left side.
Next, riddle 4. Which missing number? With logic. Critical thinking question. Yes. Ananya Mukherjee.
Red.
Red is the correct answer. Red is the correct answer. Red. Back is close. देखिए, this is the 4 letter, 5 letter, 6 letter, 7 letter. And this riddle, the first read, the riddle R-E-D, that is 3 letter. Next, so these are my parameters, these are my presentation, and I try to complete within 1 hour time because I wanted, I took the time of 5 minutes, and I'm sure about that. You participated, not only participated, we active. Some of the questions I have received, and I mean, minimize the questions. There are so many questions, I minimize the questions, and I will take up the questions. So it is very difficult to write down the name, and at this stage, some of the teachers, so I make it common, some common question, 5 question. How can we inculcate critical thinking among students? Some of the teachers share these questions through the chat box or through, no, not chat box, through WhatsApp. Critical thinking involves intensive work and concentration, but students should be left to themselves for much of the. That said, it can be helpful to step and pathway through their process. You can do this to correct misconception or assumption. Students will benefit from practicing critical thinking. Will offer richer relation, deeper. Second question was that some of the teachers shared through the WhatsApp. How can we develop logical reasoning among students? Listen carefully. Reasoning is ability that develops when children are given the freedom to spend time on their own and build their, I mean, just like a thought process. To promote this habit among students, teachers can do create an environment and engage the students in different thought and creative activities. Creativity, some of the reasons like so the students can get a scope of utilizing their own minding. Third question, wait 5 minutes more, 5 minutes more. 3 questions I will take up. Some of the teachers have shared the question through WhatsApp. So how can we develop problem solving skill amongst the students? The majority of children's lesson focus on memorization of the facts, right? Cognitive ability, cognitive domain, I have already Benjamin Bloom or something, of students will be developed when they are made accustomed to the habit of reaching their own conclusion. Allow them going for the reasoning based question, analytical based questions. 9th, 10th class, there are so many Olympiad, NTSC, there are so many things. So allow them to think rationally, individually, independently, and definitely you are going to solve the problem. Then they will give a problem to solve by their own without encouraging them on the process of memorization. It has gone. Fourth question, what method can we apply in our classroom to develop critical thinking among students? It is very rational question and maximum questions has come. So many methods we as a teacher can apply to promote thought and active learning in the classroom. We can use discussion method, questioning technique, debates to develop, and extempore debate, especially skill among students. ये सारी चर्चा हमको क्लास में लाउ करना पड़ेगा. Last question I am taking. How collaboration leads to critical thinking? Yes, critical thinking is a part of lifelong learning process and collaboration foster its development through discussion. So the clarification of idea and evaluation of others' idea, it is the masterpiece. So I'm sure about that. These questions will encounter you. I'll share this question also, question answer. What I'm prepared and I've responded just, and I will share the PPT also so that you can go through it, and this will be my purpose of learning, and I'm sure about that you might have enjoyed. Did you get something from this today webinar? Did you get something takeaway? So if you get something, you please send your feedback honestly so that I can go for the second time collaboration in the month of March. I will see how it can be organized in better way. There is no best which cannot be bettered. So please give your feedback so that I can prepare accordingly, right? So with these words, thank you very much. Okay, thank you.